The Killer Rabbit of Caerbannog is a fictional beast in the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It is the antagonist in a major set-piece battle, and makes a similar appearance in Spamalot, a musical inspired by the movie. The iconic status of this skit was important in establishing the viability of the musical. In the film, King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table are led to the Cave of Caerbannog by Tim the Enchanter, and find that they must face both the rabbit and the black beast. The Cave of Caerbannog is the home of the legendary black beast of Aaaaaaarrrrrggggghhhhh. This is guarded by a monster which is initially unknown. King Arthur and his knights are led to the cave by Tim the Enchanter and find that they must face its guardian beast. Tim verbally paints a picture of a terrible monster with nasty, big, pointy teeth. So terrifying that Sir Robin soils his armor at the mere description. When the guardian appears to be an innocuous white rabbit, surrounded by the bones of the fallen, Arthur and his knights no longer take it seriously. Ignoring Tim's warnings, King Arthur orders Boz to chop its head off. Boz confidently approaches it, sword drawn, and is immediately decapitated by the rabbit biting clean through his neck, to the sound of a can opener. Despite their initial shock, Sir Robin's soiling his armor again, and Tim's loud scoffing, the knights attack in force. But the rabbit injures several of the knights and kills Gawain and Hector with ease. The knights themselves have no hope of killing or injuring the rabbit. Arthur panics and shouts for the knights to retreat. Knowing they cannot risk attacking again, they try to figure out another way to defeat the beast. The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch is ultimately used to kill it and allow the quest to proceed. Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch is a visual satire of the sovereign's orb of the United Kingdom. The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch may be a reference to the mythical Holy Spear of Antioch. The Holy Hand Grenade is described as one of the sacred relics carried by Brother Maynard. At King Arthur's prompting, instructions for its use are read aloud from the fictitious Book of Armaments. And Saint Attila raised the hand grenade up on high, saying, O Lord, bless this thy hand grenade that with it thou mayest blow thine enemies to tiny bits, in thy mercy. And the Lord did grin and the people did feast upon the lambs and sloths and carp and anchovies and orangutans and breakfast cereals, and fruit bats and large chew. At this point, the friar is urged by Brother Maynard to skip a bit, brother. And the Lord spake, saying, First shalt thou take out the holy pin, then shalt thou count to 3, no more, no less. 3 shall be the number thou shalt count, and the number of the counting shall be 3. 4 shalt thou not count, neither count thou 2, excepting that thou then proceed to 3. 5 is right out. Once the number 3, being the third number, be reached, then lobbest thou thy holy hand grenade of Antioch towards thy foe, who being naughty in my sight, shall snuff it. Arthur then holds up the holy hand grenade and cries out 1, 2, 5. Sir Galahad corrects him, 3, sir. Arthur then yells 3. And hurls the grenade. The grenade soars through the air, accompanied by a short bit of angelic choral music, bounces, and explodes. The killer rabbit is defeated, and the hapless knights-errant continue on their quest. The noise attracts the policemen who were investigating the dead historian's body. Production. The rabbit scene was shot outside the Tomnidashan mine cave 4 miles from the Perthshire village of Killin. For the 25th anniversary DVD, Michael Palin and Terry Jones returned to be interviewed in front of the cave, but they could not remember the location. They wandered up and down the hills for hours and, in desperation, asked the locals, saying that they couldn't miss it as it had a killer rabbit in it. This prompt was insufficient, and so the couple performed a comic turn in front of the nearby lock to general amusement. It was priceless stuff, and some of the looks they were getting were unbelievable. The rabbit was portrayed in the movie by a real rabbit and also a prop. The woman who owned the real rabbit was unhappy with the amount of fake blood in which it had been doused by the Python crew. Antecedents. The tale of the rabbit has a parallel in the early story of the Roman de Renart, in which a foe takes hubristic pride in his defeat of a ferocious hare, si li crichet ennemi levis, a escape par grant virtue, The idea for the rabbit in the movie was taken from the fourth section A to the Cathedral of Notre Dame de Paris. This illustrates the weakness of cowardice by showing a knight fleeing from a rabbit. Merchandise. The rabbit has been reproduced in the form of merchandise associated with the movie or musical. Such items include plush toys, slippers and staplers. The plush Killer Rabbit was rated the second geekiest plush toy of all time by Matt Bloom of the Geek Dad blog on Wired.com, coming second to the plush Cthulhu. Reception. The Rabbit was declared the top movie bunny by David Keel in the Daily Telegraph. It also ranked high in an Easter 2008 poll to establish Britain's best movie Rabbit, coming third to Roger Rabbit and Frank from Donnie Darko. Cultural impact. The rabbit is now used as a metaphor for something ostensibly harmless which is, in fact, deadly. Such hidden but real risks may even arise from similarly cuddly animals. The humor of the skit comes from this inversion of the usual framework by which safety and danger is judged. 4 years after the release of the movie, Killer Rabbit was the term used widely by the press to describe the swamp rabbit that attacked the U.S. President Jimmy Carter while he was fishing on a farm pond. The Holy Hand Grenade has been used in every instance of the Worms video game series to date. It is a much stronger version of the regular hand grenades, and has the general appearance of the grenade from the film. Notably, it has a 3-second trigger and will usually only bounce once, both properties directly modeled on the behavior of film's grenade. In World of Warcraft, the Dark Moon Rabbit seasonal boss is an obvious homage to the Killer Rabbit from the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It is a raid boss that requires a large group of players to defeat it. The reward is that one player will receive the epic Dark Moon Rabbit Battle Pet, a white rabbit with blood on his muzzle. The bite from the Dark Moon Rabbit raid boss can kill a player's character in a few seconds. Killing the Dark Moon Rabbit awards the achievement that Rabbit's Dynamite, the DOS action RPG video game Quest for Glory. Shadows of Darkness features a killer rabbit enemy identical to the one in the film, including a bloody mouth. It appears randomly in the woods and attacks the protagonist. A boss monster similar to the Killer Rabbit appears in the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita video game Dragon's Crown by Vanillaware. The battleground is also surrounded by numerous corpses of knights and warriors that have previously challenged it. In Apple Incorporated's iOS system, Siri says the Rabbit of Caerbannog is its favorite animal when asked. In the PC game Minecraft's 1.8 patch, game developers added rabbits as a new creature. As an Easter egg, on rare occurrences, a rabbit will spawn with white fur and red eyes. If approached, it will attack and quickly defeat the player. As a reason for dying, the game will output text that says, "Player's name was slain by the Killer Rabbit of Caerbannog." See also, Jimmy Carter Rabbit Incident, Killer Bunnies and the Quest for the Magic Carrot, Killer Bunnies, Night of the Lepus, The Year of the Angry Rabbit. References